Hello, and welcome to Apple Blossom and You. I'm your host, Sarah, known as Apple Blossom SF on Instagram and Ravelry.
And I'm your co-host, Matt, known as Navy1990 on Ravelry and M. Franklin1990 on Instagram.
Welcome back to our returning
Hi.
friends. And if you're checking us out for the first time, I hope that you enjoy today's show.
Welcome.
Let's jump into Around the Apple Orchard. This episode is going to be full of epic cuteness. We got the babies. This is London.
For those of you that haven't seen the 8,000 pictures on Instagram
This
already.
is London. She is 4.5. She'll be 5 in March. She is the mother of Harvey, which is the puppy we lost, as well as the mother to Doc.
Say hi.
Say hi, Doc.
Hi.
So, London
These are
is
cuteness.
epic cuteness for this episode. So London is such a sweet girl. She is adjusting very well and fitting in very well. I love her to pieces already. We went down a little early. We went down on Sunday after church and got the puppies so that we could love on them sooner because it was supposed to be a crazy week. It is kind of shaping up to not so much of a crazy week. And we're trying to situate puppies to be happy. Oh, bye, London. She just bumped her head. Now she's going to come over. Okay, pet me from this side. Well, we went down on Sunday and we picked up the puppies early so that we could love on them and get them adjusted as quickly as possible. Because it was kind of sort of a crazy week, but it was kind of sort of a relaxing week. Things that were supposed to happen didn't happen. So I kind of needed a little bit of the downtime. It was good. We enjoyed it.
And that was after Saturday.
Saturday was the wedding.
We had the wedding, and everybody loved the cake.
It was a blast. We had so much fun
the
at the wedding.
reception was so much fun.
We were dancing and all that kind of stuff. So.
They held it at the. It's called the Marston Pavilion, which it's not a pavilion. It's actually like a building.
It was on base.
It was in one of the banquet rooms, and they had a DJ. They had unbelievable amounts of food.
Food was good too.
They had people walking around serving appetizers. It was a good time. The girls got out there and danced. I finally danced with my wife for I think the first time.
Probably.
First time ever.
I'm not a dancer. But it was good. We had a good time. I got lots of compliments on the cake. It was just, I cheated and I had a piece of cake. I couldn't help it. I just had to taste the end result.
I don't think you could not have gone without. Because you're one of those people, you have to try your product.
I do. And I tried all the pieces and all the pieces were good. But until you put everything together, you don't know how it tastes. But it was really nice because I was sitting next to my friend Misty. She was at the next table over from us. So we're kind of sitting next to each other because there was a little walkway between us. And she follows THM too. So I told her, I said, are you going to enjoy a piece of cake? Sorry, I had to pick up Doc. He's wanting it. And she's like, well, I don't know. I haven't decided. And I said this at the beginning of dinner. So at the end of dinner, I was like, you know what? I'm going to have a piece of cake. So I leaned over and said, have you decided about cake yet? And she's like, I don't know. I said, well, I think I'm going to have cake. And then apparently her husband, our pastor, didn't realize that I had done the cake. And as soon as he found out that I had done the cake, he jumped out of his seat and ran to get cake. So they enjoyed cake too.
Nope,
and
chew on knitting.
it was wonderful. I heard so many lovely compliments about how it was the best wedding cake they've ever had.
The people that worked there said it was the easiest
fondant cake they've ever cut. And I have to admit, I was even blown away and impressed. It was one of the best cakes I have ever eaten.
It was really good.
And I don't say that to be prideful. It's one of those things where I am such perfectionist, and I work so hard on my work, and I am extremely critical of my work. It's just part of being a perfectionist that sometimes when I sit down, when the product is done, in this case, the cake was done, and I got to sit down and just, I had a day removed from it. It was delivered, everything was fine. So it was Saturday, and to be able to sit down and enjoy the cake, it just blew me away how yummy it really was. I don't know if you've ever had that happen to you. Have you ever had that happen to you? Where you make something and you're just so shocked that you actually made it.
Yes.
I have done that. I do that often, and I think it's the perfectionist in me that is just so critical. I look at everything and go, I don't like it. I can find fault with anything that I do.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, everybody else goes, it's perfect.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I could eat that cake again. It was so good.
Monday was Maddie's birthday.
Yep.
16.
Yep, she had a friend over for dinner.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday I had job interviews. And yes, I said interviews. After we recorded last week, I think it was Monday night, I got a phone call from PetSmart calling me about the dog bather position. They wanted me to come in on Tuesday, which was perfect because I already had an interview. So I went to PetSmart first. They scheduled their interview at 1:30. So the interview went really well. I was really happy with it. At the end of the interview, he made mention that, he's interviewed several other people, he's interviewed 10 people for one position. So I knew that my chances of getting said job were really low. So I walked out, I thanked and all that kind of stuff. He said, I will call everybody. You'll get a call one way or another. You'll get called to tell you to come in to get a drug test, or I'll tell you that I went with another candidate. He goes, I won't explain anything else, and I won't say anything else. So I was, ready for that. So he called Wednesday night after the interview, and he said, I just wanted to let you know that we went with another candidate. I was okay, thank you. He goes, however, I am going to keep your application on file. And just by him saying that means that I was a top contender for the position, which was really kind of exciting because, he was just, the way he made it seem was he was just not going to say anything. He was just going to say, sorry, we went with another candidate. And he was actually really nice. So that was pretty cool. So I like that. And then at 3:30 on Tuesday, I went for the interview for the bakery clerk. And that went really, really well. The guy who was supposed to interview me wasn't there. He had to go to another meeting, the manager of the store. So he put someone else in charge for the meeting. And the interview was great. I was able just to sit down and chat. These were two of the easiest interviews I've ever been on. Basically asking me why I think I would be a good fit, so I had explanations for both and likes for both. And when I told the lady at Lowe's that I love to decorate cakes and I love baking and all that kind of stuff, she was like, oh, that's wonderful. Do you decorate cakes? Or would you be interested in becoming a decorator for us too? I said, I would love to eventually become a decorator for you guys. And I said, would you like to see some of my cakes? And I was ready. And she said, absolutely. So I was actually able to show her some of my past cakes, which was really, really nice. And we just chatted, and I found out the job pays $8.50 an hour, which was really exciting because I was only expecting about $8 an hour even though he is Doc. I'm hoping he doesn't unplug the computer. Doc. Come here, baby.
Okay, we're good.
So anyway, I was excited to find out that it paid $8.50 an hour, and it is part-time position. And at that point, as soon as she said $8.50 an hour, I knew which job I was going to pick if I was offered both. I knew I was going to go with the bakery clerk because it paid more. It paid 50 cents more an hour.
Plus, you don't come home smelling like wet dog.
Yeah. And now London wants up too. Hang on.
Told you. Cuteness.
Cuteness. Epic cuteness. So I was so excited. At the end of the interview, she took down my social security number and my birthday and said, well, we're going to go ahead and run the background check and we will call you into work next week. So I take that as I got the job. I'm not calling it 100% official, going to feel satisfied that I have the job until I get the call to come in and actually start training. But it went really well. I figured I pretty much have the job because they wouldn't waste the money on the background check if they weren't. And I'm not concerned about the background check except for one area. Our credit recently is not very good because in the past 5 years, Nat has been unemployed twice. And things are behind, and we still pay all of our bills, but some of them are late. And we're just, we're struggling to keep afloat. And it seems like just when things were getting better, we were almost all caught back up. And then he lost his job December of last year. So now we're getting almost caught back up, and that's when, they cut his pay again. So it's just a matter of trying to get everything worked out. But it should work really well. So I'm really excited about it. I will find out for sure.
When the lady saw Sarah's pictures of her cakes that she's done, she asked, are you seriously home self-taught?
Yeah.
So,
it'll
actually
be
pretty
fun.
cool.
It'll be fun.
I think you got it.
And I do like the fact that I will not come home smelling like a wet dog or run the risk of getting bit. I'm sure my dogs will be much happier with me not coming home smelling like other people's dogs. And the lady at PetSmart was telling they bathe on average 12 dogs a day. That's backbreaking work. I know that it's a lot of work to bathe. When we bathed 8 in one day, it took me literally all day, and I wasn't having to blow dry them. 12 would be a lot. And usually I prefer to break my guys up. I try to just do 2 or 3 in a day, because any more than that, my back hurts. It would hurt for a different reason doing the bathing job, because they have professional tubs, so you'd be standing the whole time, which would be more comfortable in a lot of ways. I wouldn't be having to bend over a bathtub.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's still backbreaking work. London's checking stuff out. She's such a sweet girl.
And Doc's chewing.
On my finger. So I love these two already. And I'm so glad that London's an adult. And she's adjusting so well. She's just the sweetest thing. She just wants to be loved on all day long.
Yeah. And then Tuesday, after her interviews, I had another rehearsal, getting ready for, a month from now, our performances. Spent 3 hours learning one song from Ground Zero on up, which was really fun. If y'all get the chance, go on YouTube, look up the group Straight No Chaser. They're an a cappella group, and they do the 12 Days of Christmas.
It's funny.
It's hilarious. And that's what we're going to be doing to open Act 2 of our performance. So, looking forward to it. Other than that, what else did we have this week? Anything?
No, we were supposed to have the bonfire for the teens last night, and one of the local schools did a last-minute sporting event. So our co-leaders are both facing cancer, and they both had treatment scheduled for Friday, and they realized that they had a conflict, so they called to reschedule their appointment for the following week or within 2 weeks. And they got it changed, no problem. Then we found out about the sporting event and that parents were going to force their kids to come to the bonfire because it was the first one, and we felt that was not right that anybody be forced to come to an event. This is it's supposed to be a fun event.
Yeah, and you're not going to have a lot of fun if you're forced to go.
Yes. So then it came out that one of the local Christian schools that a lot of our kids play sports for went ahead and they moved their banquet to the next week. So, in theory, we were golden to go back for the Friday. Except that she had already changed the plans to change her doctor's appointment because it looked like we were going to cancel. And then they canceled, so she called to switch back, and she couldn't switch back to the later date, so she had to keep it. And a whole lot of confusion and stress and trying to make our event happen, and it just didn't happen. So we canceled. And then tonight we were supposed to have a small group. I'm not looking forward to it. There's been a lot of drama with our small group in the past few weeks, and I'm just worn out, and we have to have a conversation tonight with the small group. Because he's not going to be able to be there for the next 2 meetings after tonight because of his performances. And I'm not 100% positive I'm going to even be around for the meetings. So it kind of makes meeting at our house sort of impossible.
Yeah. And
I have a couple people who are not as understanding as they would like you to believe they are. They're the type of people where they expect to be accommodated, but when you need accommodation, it doesn't come. So that is bringing some dread into this conversation. I know it'll all work out, and I'm not worried about it at all. I know that it's in God's hands, and all will be well one way or the other. But it's still, the anticipation of the conversation is not great. I expect some backlash. I had backlash a couple weeks ago because of scheduling conflicts with the bonfire.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting them now, too. And it's really kind of sad because life happens and things happen and plans change. What we plan, we can't always follow through with. That's just reality. I feel bad.
Yeah. It's been difficult.
Yeah.
Trying to arrange days and times. We accommodate one couple because of work schedules. You know, we have to accommodate because of dietary restrictions. All of this, and then...
Well, we weren't accommodating dietary restrictions because
Not
I was
totally,
doing all the
you.
cooking.
Right.
And it was my dietary restrictions, which is part of the reason why I cooked for our summer session. And now everybody was like, well, let's do a potluck. We want to help cook. I was like, okay, no problem. You can cook whatever you want. I'll make something for myself. Which I'm used to. It's not that big of a deal. But now it's become this huge deal that, well, you have to eat too. So I'm like, okay, if you want to cook, I will gladly help you work out something that, I can eat too. But I don't want to put any stress on you. It's not that big of a deal. If you just want to cook what you like, that's fine. That's good for the majority of the group. I am fine with that. So there's been drama about food, and there was drama about food already today with one of the people that was cooking and dessert. And it ends up being that I won't be able to eat dessert, and I'm cooking it only because I didn't know until yesterday that I was supposed to make dessert. I don't have anything. Our fridge is empty. We still have a week to go to payday. And I have, luckily I have the brownies that I was supposed to make for the bonfire yesterday. So I have that to make, but I don't get to eat dessert, which is fine. I'm not complaining at all. I am totally cool with not eating dessert. It does not bother me at all.
If you wanted to, you could have some yogurt and berries and call it done.
Right now I'm just wore out.
We've got one couple in our group that are the most accommodating people.
They're wonderful.
But there's two other couples that
They're both everyone in our small group is wonderful. Don't get that impression, but there's a couple people that conflicts.
Yeah.
Conflict. That's all I can say is conflict, and it happens to everybody. It's not bad conflict. It's just one of those things where continued conflict is tiring, and our whole summer has been nothing but conflict. Fighting with the VA, fighting with his job issues, just trying to get everything done, becoming new youth group leaders, and having the new leadership take over with that. It's just,
It's been stressful. It's been really stressful.
And it's hit me. I'm tired. I am ready for things to be mellower, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm ready for a little bit of a break. And it looks like I'm going to get that. Unfortunately, I will be going to work, so it'll be a different kind of break. But it's going to take some of the other pressure off of me. I don't know if we're going to be able to continue our small group at our home. It's probably going to have to change. And I may be able to make it. I may not be able to make it. And
I know I will for the next month.
I know that I have some other obligations at the church that I was voluntold for that I am supposed to do next Saturday. I'm going to get the stuff. I'm going to prep the stuff. I'm going to send it to church because honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to be at that event because I may have to work. I put down that I have pretty much open availability, which is true, which is the truth. In order to get a job in today's day and age, especially retail, you have to have open availability. And I even put down that I can work Sundays from 1 to 5 p.m., which is right after church. It's just shortly after church. And just before youth group starts. So that I was still accommodating going to church and accommodating the youth group. And of course, the first thing they ask you is there any flexibility with this? And why do you need this? Why only these hours? So I told them, and I said, honestly, truthfully, I can even miss one, maybe 2 at most a month, if absolutely necessary. However, I would prefer to not have to work any more than the hours between 1 and 5. And I'm in a position where I can't really argue. If they're going to schedule me and I need to get 27 to 28 hours a week just to be able to make up for his lost income. The minimum I think I said I could work would be 25. But I have to be able to show up and work at any hours that they want me to work, at any schedule time they want me to work, and just be the best worker they've got. Or I'm not going to get those hours because it's the good workers that get the hours. So I have to be the best employee that they've got with whatever job that I get. And I have to be willing to work and do it, even if it is a sacrifice, and it will be a sacrifice, but there's no other choice for it. If we want to continue paying our bills and being able to eat food, I've got to go to work.
Yeah, I kind of like eating.
I do too.
So,
I do too.
Yeah, we got it.
I like my bills being paid.
Yeah.
So it's just been tough. We're still dealing with the school, and they're dragging their feet again. He's going to call on Monday and try and get another update again. And if he doesn't get to talk to his counselor, who is conveniently out of the office a lot,
Yeah.
we've decided that we're going to go ahead and we're going to call the VA representative that we got a name for. They're an advocate, and we're just going to explain the situation and say, look, this is done. Because as it is, now we've got to defer the loans for another 2 months, hoping that this will go through.
And all it takes from the school is one form.
One piece of paper.
That's it.
10 minutes to fill out and fax.
They have to fill out my enrollment dates for school. They do that. They send it off to the VA. VA certifies it. Says, yes, he was, in school. Easy peasy, it's done.
Yep.
But the school won't do it.
No.
They're dragging their feet.
It's becoming an issue because every month that we defer on the loan, which you can only defer on a Fed loan 12 times. We've deferred twice. We're getting ready to defer 2 more times. Every time we defer, it's $600 a month in interest.
Yeah.
That's not a small amount of money.
No.
And we're ultimately responsible for it, even though this whole situation should have never happened. We should have never had Fed loans. It just shouldn't have happened. But, we have to deal with it, and we have to do what's right, and we have to be responsible. And we are being responsible. We are responsible for it. And the sad thing is we probably will not have the loans completely paid off by whatever money we get from the VA. So we're either going to have to go and continue to fight with them and say, hey, we just paid you X amount of dollars, this giant balance of money.
Yeah.
Can you forgive the rest of the debt? Which we've told that they should be able to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not going to be a whole lot that's left over. They're actually going to get more money out of us than most people end up paying back on their student loans. So.
Yeah.
But it's just, the process is getting there and not having the interest keep incurring because we're responsible for having to pay that.
Yep.
It's just tiring. I'm just tired. It's a good way to say it. I'm tired. And it's holidays, and I haven't done anything for Christmas.
Nope.
I don't even know if we're going to have Christmas.
Oh, we will. One way or another, we'll have Christmas.
I'm just wore out.
But the stress of everything is just... Hey, look, it made her hair fall out.
If only that were true. Which my hair is getting really long.
It is getting longer.
Yeah,
It's soft.
I can grab it pretty well.
So that's life.
Yeah. Before I forget, I wanted to share that I am wearing my Love and Laughter cowl that I did. This is the one that I did out of Another Crafty Girl. I love it. It's chilly today. So
It is chilly. That's why I'm wearing the flannel going plaid. I'm a pladict. Josh Ricks.
Do we have any new introductions this week?
We do. We have two.
Oh, there she is. I was looking for her.
Two new introductions this week. And if you haven't introduced yourself...
Or joined the group, please come on over and
join the group, but haven't introduced yourself, come over to the introduction thread. We'll give you a shout out. If you haven't joined the group, why not? Join the group. When we get to 300 members, we're going to do a drawing. I don't know what the prize will be, but we'll figure something out.
Yeah, I'm half tempted to do. I was thinking the other day, maybe we should just do a surprise random draw. So you never know. Yeah, just randomly draw a prize.
There you go.
From our group members.
But our two new members, we have Miss Trish Knits, who's Trish. She's from Northern California.
So welcome, Trish.
And Mrs. Neely Johns, who is Rachel. She's from, I want to get it right, Tawnytown in Maryland.
Yep.
But it's not spelled that way. It's not spelled Tawny.
We have friends that are from there.
Yeah. So welcome to the group, you two. Thank you for introducing yourself.
Apple Pickin Party.
Yeah.
You have 1 week left on the Outlandish Knit Along. If anybody's even still there.
If anybody's doing it, I don't know.
I am not. I am a failure, and that's totally fine to say.
And I don't do shawls yet, so I was never going to start that knit along.
But we do have a current knit along running from now till the end of the year. It's for our Martina Beam along. And I am doing the Lentilla. And I'm doing it out of Kitchen Sink Dye Works in a colorway that translates to strawberry milk.
Yeah. I looked it up. I can't pronounce it.
I'm not good with names. Anyway, I'm not good with pronunciations. So I make it easy on myself. If I can't say it, I will be honest.
Find the English and leave it at that.
Yeah. But here's where I left off last week. So I've done, no, not really. I've only done like 3 ruffles. But I'm getting there. It's getting really big. And I'm closing in on getting down to my last 25 grams of yarn. My plan is to whip this out this week because I want to get it done and posted in Denise's Pinktober knit along since it's pink. So I have to get that done this week. I have 3 projects I need to get done this week. We'll see how it goes. Of course, they'll call me on Monday and I'll start having to work 8-hour shifts because that'd be my luck.
Yeah, but
I don't think so, though. I don't think
closing time,
they won't put me on 8-hour shifts. I think part-time is they try to get you at 5-hour shifts as many days.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
Many days a week as possible. So that is my lentilla. I love it, but I do want to get it done this week. I am in a finish or frog it challenge. I have frogged a few things. Well, they will be frogged, but I've already frogged them in my mind. They are not happening. I have cut a few projects off. I have cut my green sweater. I am not going to do that particular sweater. I was not overly impressed with it. It was the custom fit that I was trying to incorporate another design in, and I just realized that I just didn't really want to do the sweater.
Yeah.
So that one's getting ripped. I'm ripping out my mystery shawl from Tina. The shawl is beautiful, and I will probably knit it at some other point. It just needs to come off the needles. I need to get my projects condensed down to just a couple, because with me working, I am not going to have the knitting time that I'm used to. So I need to get that stuff done, and I need to focus on winter clothes. I have none.
Nope.
So I need to make some.
Because you're a lot smaller than you were last winter.
No, I'm a little bit smaller than I was last winter. I'm a size smaller than I was last winter.
Okay.
Because I lost 4 sizes pretty quickly, and I'm down 5.
Oh, okay.
So I'm close to the size I was last winter, but at the end of last winter, I got rid of all my winter clothes thinking I'd be much smaller than I was, and I'm just I'm stuck. But I'm okay with that. I'm totally perfectly happy. I have not...
You lost a 9-year-old.
Yeah,
10-year-old.
Weight loss is great, but maintaining is great too. And I plan to continue with weight loss, but with as stressful as everything has been, I am totally happy with maintaining. And I had already decided in September, the holidays are coming up. I'm going to enjoy the holidays. I'm giving myself a break on focusing on weight loss. I'll kick back up after the start of the year because you do have a bunch more that I want to lose. But for now, I am just totally cool with hanging out in the size that I am. It's great. So I'm neither gaining or losing. Or if I am losing, I'm losing really, really slow. Which is fine. I'm cool with that too.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm ripping out stuff, condensing stuff. Those are my future plans. Is getting ready to do that, which of course really doesn't belong in this section. But I'm sorry, I'm just going to be rambling.
Yeah, why not? That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Doc's asleep.
London's asleep.
Doc's right here.
Well, should we move on to In the Apple Basket?
We should.
You know what that means.
You know what that means? Trooper Schultz. He's happy. Because I finished a project, which, as y'all know, I don't normally do. I finished... God, this thing's massive. The sock head. It's huge. I gotta pull it way back here just to get it on screen.
You disturbed the baby.
Sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you, Your Highness. Loved it. It was...
Cascade.
There we go.
Heritage
hand paints. In these cool brown. And that's pretty true.
It's not as reddish brown.
Yeah, it's not as red as
it's more of a chocolate, but there's definitely red in there.
Yeah. It's not as red as it looks.
Yeah, the camera lightens it a lot.
But got that done last night. Gave it to Madison because she's all about the slouchy hats. So.
And this week I'm kind of sort of, in some ways, a knitting failure. I just sat. If that tells you anything on how wore out I am, I don't just sit.
No.
And I sat. I watched TV. I zoned out on Pinterest and Ravelry. I just sat and I loved on my puppies and enjoyed my puppies. I sat outside watching them play. I didn't get a whole lot done. I'm happy with what I did get done, but I just needed to relax and de-stress some, which is good. But I did finish a few things yesterday and this morning, just a few. I got contacted by Marcy, which is the lady that we've gotten our babies from, and a friend of hers has started a group for her. It's an auction group on Facebook. One of Marcy's dogs, Gabby, was running and playing outside, and she ran, and there was a little hole that one of the dogs had dug and hadn't gotten filled back up. So she ran and she fell in the hole and she shattered her leg. So Marcy has a very large vet bill. It's going to be over $2,000 that she needs to help raise some funds for, because things are tight for them as well. So she added me to the group, and I bid on a couple of things, and I said, what can I do to help? And she's like, list anything you want that you would be willing to donate. All the proceeds go to her. So I found some things, found some baby sweaters and hats, and then we have a bunch of top knot bows from when I bought them for Apple. But having more than one dog, or dogs as close together as ours are, means that I can't put the top knots in them. And nope. I cut their hair on their heads now anyway to keep it short, because it's easier for me with having so many. So I put those up, and then I made some doggy cowls. And I'm going to make one of these for me because I love it. So the first one I have done, again. And these all have bids on them, which is awesome, is I did a red one.
And I've never heard of a Facebook auction until today.
And it's just 2x2 rib. I don't want to give too much away because it is a paper pattern. And it's called Knit Doggy Cowl. And I can't remember who it's by. Let me see. It's on my project page. But anyway, this is Karen Simply Soft, which I had in my stash. I think I bought it to make something for the dogs out of it at one point anyway, because it was washable, probably. And I have enough left that I'm going to do another sweater. Hang on while I look this up really quick.
See, you're good about that. You update your project page.
Well, I still have to put this one on my Ravelry page, but I have the other one. It's called Knit Dog Cowl by Brandy Nags. And it is a paid-for pattern. And it's one of those things where, honestly, it's really cute and really adorable. Come on, turn. I want you to turn. But I'm kind of wishing I hadn't paid for the pattern, because it was really, really simple. It was so simple, in fact, that I would have paid for the pattern, but I wouldn't have paid $5.50 for the pattern.
No.
It was an expensive pattern in my opinion, and I did end up altering it. It's a one-page pattern, really quick, really easy. I modified it. She had it knit and completely flat. I'm just gonna, I don't know. It's 2x2 rib on larger needles. I won't say what size needles. She had you cast on and bind off and then sew together. I have now done 3. This one's Karen Simply Soft. This one is, I cannot remember because it's been in my stash so long. I think it's a Bernat.
Yeah, I think so.
And then this one is Red Heart Soft. And I did these, each one of these I did differently. I did them all pretty much the same. They were all done with a provisional cast on. And this one, I went ahead and I grafted closed. And then these two, I went ahead and I did a 3-needle bind off. So that, I'm going to make more of these because Miss London looks cute in this one. Let me see if I can try to convince her to come over and be a model. London. London. Come here, sweet girl. She's waking up. Come here. Come here.
says, "You woke me.
You
woke
want to
me
be
from
a
my
model?
slumber."
You want to show everybody how much purple is your color? Come on. Come on, chunky girl. See, purple's her color.
I miss that.
Let's see if I can get her to turn around a little bit. See? I'm going to show everybody. I'm going to show everybody. Look. Say, look, aren't I a pretty girl? Aren't I a pretty girl? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See the
a
cuteness.
Pretty girl?
Where are you
All
going,
right.
Doc? Whoa.
Yeah, don't let him fall off the
Almost
couch.
fell off the couch, dude.
All right. There you go, Miss London. Thank you for being the model.
So,
So those are what I got done, and I'm happy to say that all of them are bid on. I'm going to make another one of these after I finish some other projects for Miss London. And I'm going to make them for all of our dogs because they'll be good to help keep their necks warm in the winter. And now that everybody's, except Doc, is about adult size, Blue's
close.
7 months old, and Shih Tzus are considered an adult at 10 months. So at this point, he's not going to get too much bigger. You wanting to go too? Do you want to go down? Hmm? You want to go down? How could you not love his face? Look at that face. Huh? You gonna look at the camera, Doc?
this is Mom told me.
Look at that face. Hmm? Hmm? All right. We'll put the baby down too. Like I said, epic cuteness. We normally don't have the dogs out. Y'all know that. So this is a special occasion because we wanted to share them with you. That's what I got done. And I need to make some doggy sweaters for the dogs now that everybody's pretty much the size that they're going to be, and I can actually make them. Do you want up? All right. Then wants back up. So should we move on to blooming apples and I'll let you talk?
Sure. Blooming apples. I only worked on one thing this week. Oh, I'm caught up. One I messed up before. These are my, is it Wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom yarns, Miami sock. These are for Sarah. So she told me she'd do the heel. So she's gonna do an afterthought on these. And I'm gonna be a booger and not worry about what order the stripes are in on the second one, because I know that'll drive her nuts. But there is the coolness that it's Miami sock.
With the OCD.
I am. I'm going to mess with your OCD. But you know what? I don't care.
It's only on certain things, and knitting
Knitting
socks is one of them.
I know.
They don't have to be exact, but they need to be close, or they need to be so totally
Yeah, where a
different.
blue and a blue have to be pretty close to each other.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it's like this.
I will probably, when he's done, I'll probably wind off what doesn't match. Get him ready for
Probably.
it. So that he could do them.
Probably.
I just be curious.
And I'm going to pick it up and go to cast on and be like, wow, this is really working out perfectly. And she's going to be over there going, hee 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 hee. Because that's just the way she is.
I am.
She will do that. She'll wait until I forget to take it to work, and next thing you know, wow, they match. Huh. That's really cool how that worked out. So.
I only worked on 2 projects this week, other than the 3 that I finished. So that should tell you that not much got done.
Yeah.
I've been busy loving on Miss London over here, who's just keeping her head out of view.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to be loved on all the time.
Oh my
and
gosh,
I
yes.
am so totally cool with that. And I'm really excited because she's been staying near me. But last night she started wanting to jump up and sit with me. So she's only come up here a couple times and sit with me. So I'm really, really excited. That means she's settling in and She was really kind of growly the first day or so because she was trying to protect Doc. And, it was a new pack. She's getting along well with everybody. She doesn't do a whole lot of growling anymore. She's not aggressive at all. She's the sweetest baby on the planet. And so is Doc. And it's just such a joy to have her. Oh, London. You're such a joy, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, I'm scratching her ear, so she's leaning her head in my hand. She's just let her whole head weight go, and she's just snuggling into me. She's just the sweetest baby.
So what are your projects?
What are my projects?
Since you worked on 2 this week besides...
My hand is kind of full with the doggy head. All right. Let's see. I think she's going to curl up. You ready? There you go.
Okay.
I don't know. We might be able to leave London out every day, every podcast, because she's so quiet. She doesn't hardly bark. She barks when the others bark. And
Which is usually when somebody comes to the front door.
Or they hear our neighbors or thumps a lot.
Yeah.
So she usually barks. Well, I showed
Sir sound system across the hall or across the street.
Yeah. Well, I showed you last week that I had finished my first monster kerfuffle sock, and
Which
that
was
I
half
had
of a finished object pair.
Yep.
I'm
That
calling
wasn't
it.
matching.
They didn't match, but that's okay because socks don't have
And
to
I
match.
had the cuff done on this, and then I started on the other one, which is funny because I must have been pretty tense because my gauge is different on the 2 socks.
Yeah.
This sock is doing what I had hoped this one would do. So now I have a dilemma. Finish this sock and let them be as they are.
Your OCD's kicking in, isn't it?
It is, because I really want to rip out this sock and did it at a tighter gauge so that it matches. But I don't know if I'm going to do that. I think I might just call it done, and no one's going to see my socks anyway. But I'm really excited because getting this job means that I will have to wear tennis shoes, which tennis
means
shoes
you can wear socks.
is about the only time I wear socks unless it's cold. So my sock drawer socks are going to be getting a lot of use. So that makes me want to knit more socks too. So I can wear different socks. So I did most of the leg. I think I'm really close to the heel on this one. Yeah, I am. I've only got just a couple rows to start my heel. Maybe 5 or 6 rows before I start my heel. So I should probably do that this afternoon. Turn my heel so that I can continue on and do the leg at church tomorrow. And then hopefully
You need to do the foot.
the foot. Yeah.
You're already on the leg. It's okay.
So that's really close. And then my plan is to work on my lentilla. I want to get that done, and I need to get my October socks done, which I haven't even casted on the second sock for. So that'll be good. Trying not to zip up my yarn. The only other project that I worked on is I dug out my Poems sock blanket. This is the one that I saw the picture that was done with Noro sock yarn. And it was in a pattern book that I couldn't get, but I figured it wasn't that complicated. The Noro blanket used 10.
Stop. Just get the plug thing.
Puppies.
Doc? No, sir.
Doc, doc.
He's going to end up pulling this thing.
Hang on.
He's going to end up unplugging this. And
Okay, it's like,
there we go.
hold the dog.
And the cuteness.
Do you want to come here?
Hi.
London. All right. London likes to go where her baby goes.
Oh, I'm getting kisses from the puppy.
Oh, he's giving kisses. Yeah, he's cute. I don't think you can see her, but she's just staring at her baby. We can get London to go anywhere we want as long as we have him. Yes.
They're trying to lick my face off.
Yes.
Thank you, buddy.
Cuteness.
Phone
overload.
sock blanket.
Yes. So I had told you that I had 2 skeins of Poem sock yarn, and I have now crocheted through both of them. And of course, this is already getting so big. This is on a G hook. And I have this on my project page, and it has a link to the Poem Socks colors that I am using. I do need to update my picture now that I'm done with the second color. And I need to go to the yarn shop and buy the third and possibly fourth skein of yarn. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that, but there's a little corner so you can see the transition to the two colors. And of course, as I get more and more skeins, the colors blocks will get smaller and smaller. But I'm really excited about it, and it's quite big. It's a perfect use for poem sock yarn because it is not my favorite yarn. It's a one ply. I would never, ever, ever in a million years knit socks out of it.
Oh no.
Or even, I don't even think I would do a shawl. It's not uber soft. It's not scratchy. Well, it's not super scratchy.
It's almost like it's stiff.
Well,
like the yarn is almost stiff.
Kinda. I think it'll
It's not that it's
soften
scratchy,
up.
it's just, it feels firm.
Yeah, it'll soften up. I need to weave in my ends on here so that I'm caught up before I attach the new skein. Which I have no idea what color I want to use. I just know that I've got to go buy another skein of yarn.
Somebody's being a wiggle worm.
He says, time to play. I've slept. But I have another section to do.
You do, because we have...
I have...
our apple candy segment.
Yeah. But it's mine, not yours.
Well, we have a segment. You have apple candy.
I actually have more apple candy than what I'm going to show.
You do?
Sorta. Yeah, I won't show all of it. But I ordered last week. I found a pattern online for a sweater called Moon Velvet. It was from Knitty. Maybe I'll show the picture if I try not to drop the dog. Don't eat my blanket. Let me pull this up. I feel a little disorganized today.
New blanket. Take away the temptation.
Okay. Favorites. Okay. The pattern is Moon Velvet. And I'll show you the piece that I loved. It was somebody else's project. It's called, excuse me, not Moon Velvet, Morning Velvet, and it's by Knitted Bliss JC. And I saw this person's project and absolutely loved it because it's like totally my colors. And that's so pretty. I love it.
It's a really cool sweater.
And she did it out of Karen Simply Soft. She used gray heather, soft pink, off-white, and plum wine. And this project was destined to be mine because I saw it and she did an extra large. And so I was able to, which is the size that I need to do too. So I know that she used 9 skeins. I was able to buy 9 skeins. I was searching and searching and searching, and I found out that they had sort of discontinued the gray heather. They call it something else now. So I settled for getting the two pinks, the plum wine and the soft pink and the off-white. And I bought what I thought was going to be a charcoal gray. They sent me the gray heather. And I ordered this off of Michaels.com because in our local Michaels, it's $5 a skein.
Yep.
I was able to get this for $3 a skein online. And shipping was like $6.
So you still came out way ahead.
I came out way ahead. This is including shipping, this will be a $35 sweater.
That's pretty good.
I am happy with that. I don't have a problem with Karen. Would I love to have knit this out of some superwash wool? Absolutely. However, I love Madeline Tosh, but I'm on a Red Heart budget.
Yeah.
So Karen Simply Soft is nice enough. It'll just have to work. So that's...
Our budget will clear up and we'll get back to
Eventually.
picking up some Tosh and some...
Eventually. But I still have a ginormous stash that I love. And I'm enjoying knitting. I'm really, really enjoying knitting with all my pretty yarns that I stashed for 2 years from when I was working before, and we didn't necessarily need my income. And from before when he was still active duty. So I was able to stash lots of pretty yarns, and it is really paying off because I get to use them. But I did get another yarn. I ordered this one a few weeks ago. This was one of the yarns that was done to support Silly Fruit, which she still needs our prayers. She's really having a rough go of things. She did put out a new update. I'm not going to go into that. If you want, you can go and check out her update. She tells her story better anyway, and I think if I were to try to tell it, I'd lose it too.
Yeah, because I was watching it last night, and I was in tears.
Yeah, we were both crying.
Have never met Wendy in person.
No.
But anybody I know on Ravelry
She's one of the
or
sweetest
anything
people
like
I know.
that is you're friends to us.
Yeah.
And when friends go through hard times, it's rough.
I've been watching her podcast.
Pretty much since the beginning.
No, not since the beginning of her podcast, because she's been recording a lot longer. But I started watching her podcast in 2010, right before we started this podcast, because when we officially started, it was 2010. I started in August of 2010. So that's a long time.
Yeah.
A long time. Granted, we took a big break. That was very much needed. But anyway, back to the apple candy that you really want to see. I ordered some Fruit Jew from Highland Handmaids. And this is her sugar maple sock. It's 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon. It's 425 yards. And this is gorgeous. I absolutely must get knitting done because I want to cast something on with this. I have no idea. I was thinking of doing a Love and Laughter cowl out of it, since it is the pattern that I did for Fruit. And this would be a wonderful choice for that. I would love to see someone do it, but I'm not so sure I'm going to do another one for myself. I love this one, and I can't see myself having two, even if they are two different colors. So I think I'm going to find another cowl and do another cowl. I definitely do not want it to be socks. As cool as it would be for socks, this yarn deserves to be shown off on more than just my feet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it needs to be a cowl. Absolutely must be a cowl. Or a hat. But I don't even really want it as a hat because I'm not a hat person.
No, you're not.
And although I will be knitting myself some hats because I know I'm going to need them this winter because my head is a little bald, I still don't want to knit a hat out of this.
No.
To me, that would be a waste. But it's so soft and squishy and lovely.
And like Sarah said, the yarn was for raising money for Wendy.
Yeah. This was a big splurge for our budget when I ordered this.
Oh, yeah. But we had to.
But
it was just one of those things we had. We rearranged budget.
I had to get it. So I'm really glad that I did have it. So it'll be nice. And I look forward to the day when we can start stashing yarns again because I miss buying pretty yarn. It smells good. It smells like wool. And yes, I sniff my yarn. See, it smells like wool. Are you a wool sniffer?
I'm not.
I am.
I am not a wool sniffer. You're a wool sniffer.
I am. I love wool. Wool's my favorite. And Mr. Troublemaker over here is trying to eat my project bag.
Of course he is.
Because he's a puppy.
I'm a puppy and I eat everything.
And he'll be so happy when he's all grown up. I love puppies, but I love adults too. They're wonderful. You know what to expect out of them.
Yeah.
And she's curled up. She's over here.
She's going to sleep.
Yeah.
That's what she does.
She's never far from me. But I noticed, though, that she is getting to the point where she ventures out further and further away from me, which is good because that means she's settling in. And Mr. Doc here is happy to love everybody, and he's a sassy little boy. He tries to take on Bailey, which is our 16-pound
bulldozer.
Yep.
Bailey the gentle giant.
Yep.
Because it's funny, Doc was playing with Blue.
Which is our other baby. He's 6 months old now.
And it was funny because they were face to face and kind of swatting at each other and playing around. And Bailey just comes running through and plows over Doc and just like, dude, that's not how you play. This is how you play. And he runs him over like a linebacker. But
You gonna chat?
he says, no, I'm not going to talk.
I'm playing with him.
But we've been enjoying him, loving on him.
Oh yeah.
Now if we could just get Miss London to want to go into her bed at night.
Yeah, she's really good when she goes in her crate, but she doesn't like to go in her crate.
Right.
She and Doc share the same crate for now because it helps with the transition period. Probably next week we'll move him to his own crate. I haven't decided if I want to move them both to the puppy room or if I'm going to leave them in our room.
So we'll start with
I think
putting them side by side.
Yeah.
So at least they're still together.
But I don't know, London is so good. I mean, we can get up in the middle of the night and she doesn't make any kind of noise.
I get up at 5:30 in the morning.
He lets the other dogs out, and she stays in the crate with Doc, and she sleeps, and she doesn't make a peep.
Yeah, the other dogs are out here in the living room running around. You know, they'll go outside to go potty, and anything out there that makes even the slightest bit of noise, they start barking. And London just lays in her bed.
She's perfectly quiet.
Doesn't make a sound.
Wish all mine did that.
I do too.
We have a couple that just like to bark and bark and bark.
Because when school's not going on and I have to get up for work, I can usually get up, get ready, make my coffee, and be out the door and not wake up the dogs. Can't do that with school because the girls are up and they're, banging around making breakfast and doing all that. So, gotta let the dogs out.
London's good.
But London and Doc,
Well, Doc's good
Nothing.
because Mama's in there.
Yeah.
But he'll learn, so maybe he'll learn not to be barky. Well, we should get going because we have other stuff to do this afternoon. We gotta clean up. We gotta go over our Bible study material for the day, do our review so that we're ready for Bible study tonight. I need to make some brownies so that there is dessert for everybody else.
I say we have a kid make brownies. It's not that hard.
No, but then kid won't clean up kitchen and it's a big mess. Yeah. Ow, ow, ow. That's my finger, dude. Oh.
That's the rule with animals.
Ow, puppy teething.
If it has teeth,
It bites.
it can bite you. Whether it will or not, that's up to the animal. But if it has teeth, it can bite you.
Mine usually don't.
Okay.
We will let the epic cuteness say goodbye.
Yeah.
You gonna say bye? Yeah. Say bye. He thought, I want to play.
He says, I want to play, Mama.
So we will say bye for now.
Bye for now. We'll see you next week, y'all. Bye.